We'll let you know about the newest issue of the University Journal.
And we'll update you on the coronavirus. Stay tuned.
I saw everyone tense. Like, TV, I'm Thomas Dianella.
And I'm Olivia Thornock. The University Journal is an interesting way for students to learn about what's happening around southern Utah. Their newest issue is on outdoors. Our reporter Anders Henningsen has the story.
There is a place on campus that is a center for creativity and information sharing. The University Journal has a new issue coming out that is outdoors based. This means that every article has something to do with the outdoors. One article talks of the Epistles of Escalante, where one T-bird discovers their newfound love for the outdoors. There's also another exciting article on ice climbing. It discusses where and when to ice climb, and where on campus you can get the equipment from. The University Journal offers issues that are a quick read with only 32 pages each time, and they are offered free around campus. All articles are based on Southern Utah and SU's faculty and staff. If you are interested at working at the University Journal.
Honestly, it doesn't even feel like a job just because I love it so much. We have Hayden Coombs as our operation manager, and all of the others that work here. It's fun to work here, and it's a cool environment for people to just kind of brainstorm.
Working at the University Journal is awesome. It kind of opened up this whole new avenue of journalism that I didn't even realize I liked.
For SUTVNews, I'm Anders Henningsen.
Cedar City's Top Spot restaurant and gas station has recently reopened. My coworker Olivia Thornock has the story.
One of Cedar City's favorite restaurant and gas stations, Top Spot, has just reopened after 4 years of being closed. Being that Top Spot had been open since the 60s, new owner Bobby O'Bring decided it was time to reopen the restaurant and keep it a town favorite. Cashier and daughter Aubriana O'Bring has a rundown of Top Spot.
Some great things about Top Spot is they have great food, their shakes are really good, and they have good drinks. Really good place to fuel up, really great environment, and we have a convenience store here, and it's a really great place to hang out.
Owner Bobby O'Bring has the story on Top Spot's well-known original cow.
They've had the cow for years, and then it's always been on the roof, and people go up there and take it and either trade it with something else down in St. George. I think they did it at the college one time. I think they've taken it over to the cemetery before, so they just kind of, it's more of a fun prank is what they used to do for years. It's been here since the beginning. Same cow.
From SUTV News, this is Olivia Thornock. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention says to prepare for the coronavirus outbreaks in the U.S. This news comes after... Which camera? This news comes after weeks of fear that the coronavirus would become a global pandemic. The epidemic seems to be slowing in China's Beihou province. Now it has begun to spread out in Iran, South Korea, and Italy. The CDC says that it is only a matter of time before the virus begins to break out in the U.S. With that in mind, they aren't sure how severe it will be, but they do warn citizens to be prepared for it to impact their everyday lives.
And the coronavirus has begun to have an impact here at SU and in Cedar. Not only does SU have about 20 students here from Wuhan, China, who are worried about their families, but SU's Jumpstart program is in Italy right now and had to change plans because the northern border in Italy is closed. And right here in Cedar City, face masks normally used for construction and painting have sold out. Residents have bought up the masks in anticipation of an outbreak in the area. Shelves at Home Depot, Walmart, and Walgreens are empty with no word on when they will be restocked. The masks are not available online either.
Coming up, we'll talk about the Democratic debate in Las Vegas
And the death of Katherine Johnson. Stay tuned.
74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Voters across Nevada participated in the Nevada caucuses. Voters across the state arrived at their local caucus on February 22nd. Reports from the voting revealed that Bernie Sanders took the lead, gaining approximately 24 delegates. Bernie Sanders celebrated the victory at a Texas rally.
Popular vote in Iowa. We won the New Hampshire primary. And according to 3 networks in the AP, we have now won the Nevada caucus. Let me thank the people of Nevada for their support. In Nevada, we have just put together a multi-generational, multi-racial coalition, which is going to not only win in Nevada, it's going to sweep this country.
On Monday the 24th, Katherine Johnson passed away at 101 years old. Johnson was a NASA mathematician whose calculations helped put a man on the moon, but the first American in space, and worked on many other flight paths of NASA. Johnson started working at NASA in 1953, and her work was so perfect when in 1962 NASA was preparing for the orbital mission of John Glenn. Glenn stated, quote, "If she says they're good, then I'm ready to go," end quote, ending with the flight being a success and the inspiration behind the film Hidden Figures, based on Johnson and other women working at NASA at the time. She was working at NASA at a time when only 2% of African American women were attending college. In 2015, Johnson was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Barack Obama.
Was to answer questions. And I did that to the best of my ability at all times. I liked what I was doing. I liked work. I liked the stars and stories we were telling. And it was a joy.
Bob Chapek is Disney's new CEO, as former Bob Iger has stepped down. According to CNN, in an announcement by the board of directors, Bob Chapek is the new CEO and replaces Iger effective immediately. Prior to his position as CEO, Chapek served as the chairman of Disney Parks Experiences and Products. And now, former CEO Iger has assumed the role of executive chairman and direct the company's creative endeavors moving forward.
Well, it's going to be really interesting with such a big corporation like Disney going through a big power change.
A big change. So I'm excited to see what's new to come, or what kind of changes that they do.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be new stuff for sure.
Yeah.
You know, they're at a peak spot, especially with everything Disney Plus has brought to the table. You know, they're in a good spot, you know.
Yeah.
This won't slow them down that much. Kaden, what do we have coming up in weather?
Well, we've got some beautiful weather coming up for the remainder of the week with a chance of precipitation this weekend. And we'll learn some more after the break.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome to the weather. I'm Caden Smith. Coming up this week in Cedar City, we've got some beautiful weather right now. It's going to remain sunny through the rest of the week, and we do have some clouds that are going to roll in starting on the weekend. And these clouds might bring a down to St. George, we've got some beautiful weather, and that weather is good right now. It's about 54 degrees, and the weather on, okay, back to you guys at the desk.
It's not live, well, it's been cold out here in Cedar at least.
Oh, yeah, it's been freezing.
It's cold. I'm not a fan of the cold at all.
No, me either.
I grew up in Southern California. Yeah. You know, I've been here for a little bit. I'm still not used to it yet.
Yeah.
You know, if we get rain, I can deal with that.
Yeah.
Snow, I'm gonna stay inside.
Snow's the worst, and it's been a bitter, cold day today, and I've had enough. So I'm happy about the.
It is really cold. You know, it's one of those that just feels really cold no matter what, wherever you are right now outside.
It's the breeze.
Definitely the breeze and being in the shade makes it worse. It's just, it's not fun at all. You know, no. I can't say I'm not a fan of it enough, honestly.
It's good to see that St. George is going to have some good weather too.
Yes, I'm probably gonna have to go down there just get out of it.
Not too cold.
Connor, what do you have coming up in sports?
Well, it's been a big weekend for SU men's and women's basketball. I'll tell you guys all about it right after the break.
Sweet.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Toxic chemicals and carcinogens are leaching into the environment. It's happening right where we live, work, and play. Everywhere. Cigarette butts are toxic waste. Let's stop the toxic litter. Learn more at rethinkbutts.org.
On average, I spend 8 hours a week on the road. It's important to me to make the right choices when I drive. And she's the reason why I support MAD.
Hi, I'm Special Agent Diana Berrigan from the TV show White Collar. Did you know that it wasn't until 1972 that the first female earned an FBI Special Agent badge? Now women are helping solve crimes around the world in faraway places like Sarajevo, New Delhi, Lagos, and Tbilisi. To all our women fighting crime at home and overseas, thank you for keeping us safe. Happy anniversary.
Welcome back to SUTV Sports. I'm Connor Sanders. Southern Utah men's basketball is reeling after dropping consecutive road contests this weekend. In the first game against Northern Colorado, SU could just not seem to find a rhythm early on, going into halftime trailing by 14 points. The T-Birds fought back throughout the second half, eventually tying the game with a minute remaining. A three-point dagger by Bodie Hume put the game out of the reach, and ultimately SU fell 68-66. The team then traveled to Ogden for a battle against rivals Weber State. SU again fell behind early, trailing by 12 at halftime. The Thunderbirds were never able to find their way back into this game, trailing by 15 for most of the second half. A short run pulled the T-Birds within 7 with about 5 minutes left, but that's as close as the team got before falling 82-71 to the Wildcats. The T-Birds fell to 7-9 in conference play, leaving them in 8th place in the Big Sky Conference. SU women's basketball is coming off a solid weekend after picking up wins against Northern Colorado and in-state rivals Weber State. The T-Birds played great perimeter defense, keeping the Bears scoreless from the three-point line. SU also limited UNC's points in the paint en route to a 64-50 victory. Rebecca Cardenas led the T-Birds in scoring with 18 points in the contest, as well as 9 rebounds. SU's win on Saturday against Weber gave them 3 straight victories against Big Sky opponents as they tamed the Wildcats 82-66. 4 Thunderbirds racked up 15 points, with Shaylin Fano leading all scorers with 19, notching her second double-double of the season. The Thunderbirds are now 9-7 in Big Sky play as they prepare for their last 4 games before the Big Sky tournament. Saturday's game against Weber was extra special for freshman guard Maddie Eaton. Our anchor Thomas Tianella has the story.
Saturday's matchup between the Thunderbirds and the Weber State Wildcats ended with a happier ending than normal for SU freshman Maddie Eaton. Suited up for Weber State was Maddie's older sister Liz Graves. The two matched up earlier this season at Weber, but this game was the first one on Maddie's home court. After getting their first matchup out of the way in January, Liz was ready for this game with some encouragement from their father.
Me, and I don't know, it was tough, but this game, my dad actually sent us a text and said, sent me a text and said, hey, just play like Larry Bird and Michael Jordan, you know. They're always like competing and smiling, but you know, they were aggressive and attacking each other.
Maddie has used these contests to prove herself after always looking up to Liz, but was still happy to see her sister on the same court.
Yeah, honestly, it was so much fun. It's just fun for me too, because I feel like I've always been the underdog, like a little skinnier than her and smaller, but it's just fun to just D her up and just score on her like I did that one. You know,
Oh,
I had one in her
brother.
face. Oh, brother. I said, are you kidding?
SU came away with the win, but Graves may have won this battle between the sisters in stats. She scored 15 points and Maddie's 5, but Eaton's squad came away with the win. Liz may have known she beat out Maddie in stats when she alluded to her father's text before the game.
Anything, Larry? No.
Any funny?
Oh, God. Yeah, you're right. I'm Michael Jordan. Oh, God. Whatever. Oh, gosh. No, I don't got anything. Oh, my gosh.
The sisters find themselves pitted against each other in the Big Sky Conference Championship. They're both ready to compete once again.
Maybe get another.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. Get another one under our belt. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm down. We'll beat you again.
Oh. It's all right.
I love it.
Already started.
They do meet again this season. Will take place in Boise, Idaho at the Big Sky Conference Championship Tournament, where neither will have the home court advantage. The tournament takes place March 9th and 13th, and both teams look to make a statement in the tournament. For SUTV, I'm Thomas Dianella.
This team will be on the road this week to face off against Eastern Washington and the University of Idaho. The last time the teams met, the T-Birds beat the Eagles 71-50, but lost 71-56 against Idaho at home. The team currently sits at 6th place in the Big Sky Conference, and if they can jump up one more spot, they'll receive a first-round bye in the Big Sky Conference tournament. The team only has 4 games left in conference play and has a 4-8 record on the road, something head coach Tracy Sanders is wanting to change.
You know, it's one of those things that you just get used to. It's been nice. I think our schedule has been really favorable, being able to have so many home games at the end of the season. But, you know, I'm excited. I like going on the road. I'm excited to go on the road. Another opportunity for us to play, and I think we need practice on the road. Obviously, I think we're 11 now at home. And so, you know, for us, we have to learn how to be better on the road. So it's just a great opportunity.
I'm Connor Sanders. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for the sports update, Connor. When we get back, we'll catch up with the race with what's happening around campus. Stay tuned.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Homemade noodles. Marty, stop it. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. It reminds me, I've been thinking maybe we should try a new form of birth control. I heard about this one. It's called the IUD, intrauterine device. Or we could try the patch on your arm. Actually, I think that one goes on your butt.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
What do you think, though? Arm or the butt?
Listen up, each year.
Welcome back to SUTV.
Race, what's going on around campus?
Mike.
No, keep talking, I got it.
Kairos to the rescue.
Outside for some fresh air and exercise. Faculty and staff can sign up at the Center for Diversity and Inclusion to read or listen to a poem or literary work by an African American author in the Student Center living room on February 27th from 11 to 1 to celebrate Black History Month. In T-Bird sports, men's basketball will take on the Eastern Washington University Eagles Thursday at 7 in the American First Event Center, and women's gymnastics will be hosting Boise State Friday night at 7 p.m., also in the AFEC. On Saturday, grab your partner or friend, put on your Roaring Twenties outfit, and dance the night away in the 3rd annual Spring Swing held in the Great Hall from 6:30 to 9:30. Admission is $10, and dance lessons and the SU Jazz Ensemble will be a part of this community event. That's all I have for you today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Race. Millions of voters across America are gearing up for their own presidential primaries by watching presidential debates. Last Wednesday, February 19th, 6 Democratic hopefuls met in Las Vegas. Our reporter Morgan Crookston has the story.
that when you see some troubled waters, you don't blow up a bridge, you build one.
Democratic presidential hopefuls met in Nevada last week to debate their policies and their opponents. The 6 candidates on stage were Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, and Mike Bloomberg. This is the first appearance of Mike Bloomberg after the Democratic National Committee changed the rules for participation. For prior debates, the DNC required that candidates surpass a specific number of individual donors in order to participate. Bloomberg is self-funding his campaign, which blocked him from entering. Bloomberg was knocked around on all sides for his history of supporting racist policies such as stop and frisk, sexual harassment allegations, and his own personal wealth.
I'd like to talk about who we're running against. A billionaire who calls women fat broads and horse-faced lesbians. And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg.
Elizabeth Warren did not stop there, criticizing his use of non-disclosure agreements as well as going after both Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar's health care plans, calling Amy's a sticky note. Another big topic of the night is the idea of delegates. All of the candidates on stage but Bernie Sanders supported the committee rules and superdelegates, who are, according to the Pew Research Center, the embodiment of the institutional Democratic Party, everyone from former presidents, congressional leaders, and big money fundraisers. They make up about 15% of delegates and are unaffiliated, meaning they do not have to act on behalf of the people.
The process includes 500 superdelegates on the second ballot. So I think that the will of the people should prevail. Yes.
Thank you, guys.
The most votes should become the nominee.
5 no's and a yes.
The next Democratic debate will be held tonight, February 25th in South Carolina. It will include all the nominees from Wednesday's debate, as well as Tom Steyer. Reporting for SUTV News, I'm Morgan Kirkstead.
Jimmy John's, the popular fast food chain, has been issued a warning letter by the United States Food and Drug Administration. The letter comes after several Jimmy John restaurants had been implicated in 5 E. coli or salmonella outbreaks over the past 7 years. According to the FDA Deputy Commissioner Frank Yanis, Jimmy John's has not demonstrated implementation of long-term sustainable corrections to ensure the safety of ingredients in its products. Jimmy John's President James North told CNN that, quote, "Food safety is our top priority. In response, Sprouts has been removed from all locations until further notice."
Man, that's interesting with Jimmy John's having so many issues with food safety. You know, there's one right by my house that I know a lot of people go to it. You know, and it's it is good food most of the time when it's not contaminated.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy. That's a new story I haven't heard of.
Yeah,
so.
You know, it's new. It's interesting. You know, it is interesting with Jimmy John's with something new. So, and we have our reporters coming as well, Connor and Kaden. What do you guys think about the Jimmy John's situation?
It's sad. I love Jimmy John's. I'm a little bit heartbroken.
Really?
Well, and I'm a little bit worried because I went there last week. So.
Oh,
no. You're not sick now, so that's a good sign.
For now, yeah.
For now,
was it the one here in Cedar, or was it one in St. George?
I've actually been to both, so.
Well, we know that
nice.
we're mostly covered for now.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
It's insane how fast time is moving now, already going through February, already approaching the end of the semester.
It's insane. I'm not ready for it.
Well, and the basketball season's already coming to an end. There's only 4 games left for men's and women's basketball, so you got to get out and support that.
Yeah,
We've only got 2 more men's games here, and is it 4 more women's here as well?
There's 2 more women's games.
Okay, that's right.
Next
2
week,
each.
but this week there's two games, but they're on the road. So.
Okay, that's right.
And the men host Eastern Washington on Thursday. And then on Saturday, they also host the University of Idaho, which should be a walkthrough. Eastern Washington right now, second in the conference. So that's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, they had their work cut out for them before the conference tournament.
Yeah. So what sports are coming up after basketball season? Is it?
There's some softball, things like that.
Softball and I believe soccer as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's all we have for you today. I'm Thomas Dianella.
I'm Caden Smith.
I'm Connor Sanders.
And I'm Olivia Thornock. Tune back in on Thursday for our other show.